Hello, and welcome to Holistic Lifestyle Tips Getting Real About the Woo Woo. I am Becky Russell, owner of wellness company Hope Essential, and I am an essential oil educator and a holistic lifestyle educator. I started this weekly video series to just share what a holistic lifestyle looks like, to demystify it. And the reason I am so passionate about this is in my family, some of the women, as they enter their 40s, are diagnosed as type 2 diabetics. And when I was 30, in my mid 30s, I was diagnosed as pre diabetic. So I obviously have similar genes. And I decided to take a different route to try and prevent it. I did not see a quality of life as my family members aged, and I wanted a quality of life for me as I aged. And so I figured, why not try something different? So I went the holistic route, and I feel it served me well. So it would be wrong of me not to share what has helped me. I'm 63 and not on any diabetes medications, not even considered pre-diabetic anymore. Now, do I have other health concerns? Yes, I do, but I always approach them holistically first. And then if that's just not going to work, then I do take the other more traditional route. So, but I'm always looking for alternatives, natural alternatives. And we can work hand in hand. It's not that one is necessarily, it's not us against them. We can all work together. My mission is to empower you, though, to try and handle a lot of the issues yourself. So every week I talk about a different subject, whether it's concerns physical wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, sometimes one, two, or all three. And the main goal, though, is to get to the root of the issue, not just treat symptoms. And so today we're going to talk about something that is pretty timely right now, and that is seasonal affective disorder. And it's also called SAD, SAD, of course. And you've probably heard of this, but there's quite a bit I learned in doing the research. And I am sensitive to this. My husband is even more so, and it's a real thing. So I just thought it'd be a good thing to talk about it and talk about some, uh, ways to combat that. So if you don't know what SAD is, it's a type of depression that's related to changes in seasons. So what I notice is or in October, when we change the clocks. That is sort of like when it all starts. The days just gets darker earlier, and it's then getting colder, and it just, that little bit of depression can settle in. I love the sun. It makes me feel really good, and I miss it when it's not out. So um, definitely, I have tinges of this. But what's interesting is there's also uh, the same type of uh, SAD in the spring, summer months. And I had no idea that was a thing. And it seems to affect people who are already dealing with um, bipolar disease or some other mental illness. It's not fair that you have to uh, put more on someone that's already struggling, but there does seem to be a connection. But I just never knew that there was something in the spring and summer. So, and there are different symptoms. So I'm just going to tell you briefly, for fall and winter SAD, the typical symptoms are oversleeping, appetite changes, especially cravings for high carbohydrate foods, weight gain, tiredness or low energy, which usually follows weight gain, right? And then what's really interesting is for the spring and summer SAD, the symptoms are insomnia, poor appetite, which then leads to weight loss, and then agitation or anxiety. So just be aware that if you are struggling with, the bipolar issue or some other mental health issue, um, the SAD symptoms may also be there. And then, of course, when do you see a doctor? Because we all have bad days or weeks. It doesn't necessarily mean we have to run to the doctor. But if it goes on or gets worse, of course, go ahead. And then also, if you feel hopeless or suicidal, that's nothing to mess with. Um, just immediately talk to somebody, uh, talk to an expert. The suicide prevention lifeline is 1-800-273-8255. And it's the don't try to do it by yourself when it gets that serious and you feel that desperate. So I just want to stress that. How is SAD diagnosed? Because in a way it seems a little abstract, but the way they look at it is you must have symptoms of major depression or the more specific symptoms that are that we talked about. The depression episodes must occur during specific seasons for at least 2 consecutive years. However, not all people with SAD do experience symptoms every year. So I think an example of that would be in my life. Um, I had minor SAD, um, earlier, but when my baby brother died at 42 on Christmas Day, um, over a decade ago, um, and his birthday is December 18th, that week in December is really, really hard for me now. As the holidays start approaching, um, it just my heart is heavy, and it didn't used to be that way till that happened, so, as to that degree. So even though I know the reason behind it, it's still unsettling. The episodes must be more frequent than any other depressive episodes that the person may have had at other times during the year. So if that fits, then be sure and go get the help of an expert. And then who is more likely to get SAD? Unfortunately, it's usually women more than men, but it's millions of American adults. In most cases, it starts in early adulthood, and it makes sense that if you live in the northern states, you're going to, or northern countries, north, you're going to be probably more affected because of less sunshine. And then, what causes this? There isn't a definitive answer, but this is very interesting. They say that research indicates that people with SAD may have reduced activity of the brain chemical serotonin. And we know that's the feel good uh, hormone. It helps regulate mood. So the research suggests that sunlight controls the levels of molecules that help maintain normal serotonin levels. But in people with SAD, this regulation does not function properly, and that results in decreased serotonin levels in the winter. So that is one possible explanation. And then the other findings suggest that people with SAD produce too much melatonin, and that's a hormone that we naturally produce. Um, just FYI, especially women, I believe 50 and over, that uh, amount of that hormone decreases that we make. So that's why it's sometimes helpful to take extra melatonin as you age. Um, but that's the hormone that is central for maintaining the normal sleep wake cycle. So overproduction of melatonin can increase sleepiness. So that does not help with your mood or your energy. So both serotonin and melatonin help maintain the body's daily rhythm that is tied to the seasonal night-day cycle. In people with SAD, the changes in serotonin and melatonin levels disrupt the normal daily rhythms. And as a result, they can no longer adjust to the seasonal changes in day length, leading to sleep, mood, and behavioral changes. And then another thing that could be affecting this is a deficit in vitamin D, which, of course, um, and then they say vitamin D is believed to promote serotonin activity. So in addition to vitamin D consumed with diet, the body produces vitamin D when exposed to sunlight on the skin. But in the winter, fall months, we're not getting as much sun, so less vitamin D, so less serotonin. So it's sort of this big cycle. So how do you treat, um, for SAD? Uh, I don't know if you've heard of these, but they've been around since the 1980s. But there's light therapy, where there's a special bulb and it basically mimics the sunlight. And depending on the severity and so forth, you sit with that light on for how many hours. Very interesting. And then there's psychotherapy or talk therapy. And the cognitive behavioral therapy is aimed at helping people learn how to cope with difficult situations. So that's a definite treatment option. And then, of course, supplementing your vitamin D. I know when I was seeing Dr. Iva in Plano, Texas, over 25 years ago, she had said I needed to increase my vitamin D, and it was quite a bit. And I was a little leery, but because it seemed so um, excessive, but I trusted her, so I did go ahead. And what's interesting is now that is the recommended dose. So they're always ahead of us, it seems, with the prevention and um, just that knowledge. And so I always check what's in your, hopefully you're taking quality supplements. And if you are, there's vitamin D in there. So whatever amount you're trying to reach, always look at your labels, make sure that you're not going over it. So, and then this article skips right to medications, antidepressants, anti-anxiety. And of course, those are needed for many and very helpful. But I want to insert a natural, uh, solution to minor SAD. I don't want to in any way suggest that if it's really serious thoughts of suicide, you get professional help. Absolutely. But if it's something that you feel you can try and manage on your own, with these other things we're talking about, essential oils can really help with your mood and your energy. And so if you know that you are susceptible to this, then you can start diffusing certain oils that can help lift you from this funk. And again, they're not magic, they're not cures, but they just work in natural synergy with your body. And so I want to talk to you about the emotional component of essential oils. Many people don't even know that that's a thing. And so I just want to share with you real quickly 4 different oils that could help with SAD. Okay, so the first one is elevation. And the reason I'm bringing that one up first is because its nickname is sunshine in a bottle. And so I just want to read to you what they say about it. So, elevation was formulated to overcome feelings of despair and hopelessness. This blend combines powerful mood stabilizing oils with joy filled oils that evoke happiness. The warm vibrations of these oils can soothe the heart and balance the emotions. I wear it as perfume sometimes. It's beautiful. And then the other blend that is great for uplifting is called Hope, and it's the oil of overcoming. And the little blurb on this is hope reveals the truth that people are not their story, their pain, or even their experiences. All individuals are beings filled with a light that can never be taken, destroyed, or diminished. This blend reassures that broken things can mend, hearts can heal, and lives can be restored. Through the darkness, its message calls out to hold on, gather strength, and have courage to believe that life matters and there's still a reason to hope. That's just beautiful, and it smells amazing too. And the next one I want to tell you about is peppermint. Most of us know we've smelled peppermint before. It's I use this oil more than any. It's called the oil of a buoyant heart. And so peppermint brings joy and buoyancy to the heart and soul. It invigorates body, mind, and spirit and reminds individuals that life can be happy and they don't have to be controlled by fear. It lifts an individual out of their emotional trials for a short reprieve. When individuals use peppermint, they feel as though they're gliding through life. It assists in staying on the surface of emotional issues like floating on top of water. And what they stress in this book with peppermint is this is only to get you through a, temporary kind of depression. If it's the real hardcore depression, of course, we're not trying to put band-aids on anything. Get help. And then the last one I want to talk about is Melissa. It is a very expensive oil, but oh my gosh, it's so healing. It's the oil of light, and um, the Melissa's enthusiasm is contagious. Melissa, the oil. Through the intense light and vibration this oil has to offer, individuals may feel they cannot help but let go of feelings of darkness, despair, and other low vibrations that are holding them down. It teaches the joy of living. I just I just think these are beautiful oils for this exact um, health concern. And so if you would like a sample of any of these and you do not already have a wholesale account, reach out to me. I'll be glad to uh, get that to you. Um, I just truly believe that yes, medicine has its place, but if it's not life threatening, let's empower ourselves and try to um, figure it out first with natural means. So I would love to know what your takeaway is from tonight. Was there any aha moment? Um, Something that have you heard of SAD? Do you experience it in some shape or form? And would also like to remind you that all past videos from this series are on my website, hopeessential.com, along with DIY recipes and all sorts of education about the oils and doTERRA and just a lot of information. And also follow me on Facebook at Hope Essential LLC. And till next time, choose you, choose natural, choose now.